And we just got some breaking news from CNN. Payne, Liam. The circumstances surrounding the sudden death of Liam Payne, a beloved member of One Direction and a voice of a generation, have left fans, friends, and family in shock. It feels like the angel of death has swept in too soon, taking away a life that still had so much left to give. Liam was more troubled than we initially believed, according to police reports, and his girlfriend Kate Cassidy has finally disclosed why she left Liam alone in Argentina after Direction's shining star triumphed. 31 years old, without any further explanation, Liam's life was brutally cut short under the most regrettable circumstances. Let's go into Liam's last moments, Adu. 31 is no age to die, but I believe the circumstances surrounding Liam Payne's death are horrific. As most of you are probably aware, Liam died after falling from a hotel balcony in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The light has gone out, leaving us with memories and many unanswered questions. Today, we'll attempt to piece together those final hours to reflect on a life that shone so brightly and to say goodbye to a man who meant so much to so many. According to reports, just hours before his death, police were called to his hotel, and a hotel employee made a frantic call describing Liam destroying everything in his room and implying that he may have been under the influence of drugs. This is the last video of Liam Payne alive. It was posted on Liam's verified Snapchat account and shows Liam sitting at a dining table talking to the camera about how he and his friends had slept in such a lovely day here in Argentina. This is the breakfast table just enjoying coffee and breakfast, even though it's 1 o'clock. Everyone, the hotel staff can be heard clearly saying, "We have a guest overloaded with alcohol, and well, when he is conscious, he is breaking the whole room, and well, we need you to send us someone, please." Yes, kids, it's a beautiful day in Argentina. This is the breakfast table, even though it's almost 1 o'clock. I'm just eating an orange and drinking coffee and breakfast. We actually sleep in till at least 12 o'clock every day, so we're such losers. But this is where things start to get even more tragic, my darling. Liam's body was discovered when a tremendous noise reverberated through the courtyard, and the police arrived too late. They are currently performing an autopsy to determine what precisely happened, but the shock is still very raw. Since One Direction's timeless song transcended generations, and for many people, the group essentially defined their childhood or adolescence, the whole One Direction fandom is crushed. Although the investigation, autopsy results, and other details are still being finalized, it is certain that Liam Payne's behavior was concerning enough to cause Hotel Saint to call for assistance. A woman named Carola Guana, who witnessed Liam Payne's last hours, has now spoken out. Carola, who met Liam just before his tragic fall, is devastated and shocked. She shared that meeting Liam was one of the happiest times of her life, but that it quickly became one of the saddest when she remembered how he smiled and even sang to her, giving her chills. Cora went on to say that she was one of the last people Liam broke and sang to for her. It was a beautiful moment that quickly transformed into a nightmare. She expressed her disbelief and asked that no one contact her about the story, as she was still so much shocked she could even still have his perfume on her, going from such an intimate and personal moment to hearing the devastating news of his passing just hours later is just so gut-wrenching. It's like she's caught between the joy of meeting a star and the tragedy of his sudden loss, all within the same day. With so much happening so fast, for a moment people thought Liam was on a solo trip, but now it has actually emerged that even though he was alone on this fateful day, he had actually set out on this trip with his girlfriend Kate Cassidy. Coincidentally, 2 days before Liam's tragedy, Kate took to social media to update her followers that she had traveled back from Argentina after a much-needed vacation. It was also at that moment that she mentioned that she left Liam there because she hates staying in one place for too long. People are low-key finding Kate's explanation a bit sus. Apparently, their trip to Argentina was only supposed to last 5 days, but 2 weeks later, Liam was still not willing to leave, so Kate had no choice but to leave him behind. Kate did not specify why Liam had not accompanied back home to Florida. Though alright, moving on, why? All know celebrities' deaths are always marked with a ton of speculation, of course. In times like this, speculation is bound to happen, and Liam's case isn't any different. Here's what some people are saying, because they think Liam's fall might have been a tragic accident or a real mishap brought on by one crazy night. Because he was too drunk to be allowed access to the pool area, he was allegedly seen freaking out in the hotel lobby. The theory is that he attempted to get to the pool by climbing or jumping from the balcony of his room. Now, when you think about it, this sounds like one of those situations where someone makes a snap decision that goes horribly wrong. We've all heard stories about tourist people who are drunk and young and believe they can make a wild leap only to realize too late that they've overestimated their abilities. We can't guess precisely what happened, but we do know that he fell from this balcony, which is what I don't understand. It's really hard to comprehend how this occurs, and it's not an unusual occurrence. We had a case not that many days ago, and it's horrifying. Stephen, I think that when you hear about Showa's deaths, they're not natural in the sense that they're more like freak accidents, and it's just a little too shocking to try to comprehend, especially for Liam Payne. This week, we also had the death of a DJ in IB who apparently fell from a balcony. I just think he was just such a lovable character, and you really think he was battling through those demons, and he was just hoping that he was going to get on the other side is honestly heartbreaking, and it makes you wonder if Liam, like so many before, him just had a moment where he thought he could make it and didn't realize how dangerous it really was if he was intoxicated. As people are saying, it's easy to see how he might have had an error in judgment, however loves, while some are saying that this could have been an accident caused by a bad decision. Others are thinking that there could be more to the story. This one always makes the rounds. When a celebrity dies suddenly, people start wondering if there's something more sinister at play, and they'll ask if someone was out to get them, suggesting that maybe this was all planned or that someone wanted them out of the picture. With Liam being so high profile, there are bound to be theories about someone else being involved or a darker conspiracy. Even if there's no evidence, it's wild. But when it comes to celebrity deaths, this speculation always pops up either way. It is just a tragic reminder of how quickly things can go from fun to fatal, especially when someone is under the influence. We'll probably never know exactly what was going through Liam's mind in those final moments. But this theory definitely adds another layer to an already devastating story. And then there's the other train attaching his demise to mental health struggles. This is a hard one, but to give you guys some background, his career was always marred by periods of addiction and rehab, which he was quite honest about. From their debut album to their sold-out stadium tours, Liam's life may have been far more complicated behind the scenes, despite the fact that it seems like a blur of fame and fortune. The more updates we receive about this situation, the more it becomes evident that this isn't just about the tragedy of Liam's passing, but also about the struggles that he openly shared with us. One Direction was unstoppable, but despite all of that success, there were always indications that life in the spotlight wasn't easy for Liam. He has talked about his struggles, ups and downs, and the weight of that fame. Liam had a complicated relationship with fame, and he didn't hesitate to talk about it. In his 29th interview on Ant Middleton and Liam Payne's Straight Talk, Liam talked candidly about the emotional journey he had gone through. He also talked about the dark side of fame, aside from the fact that few fans see it. He said that at times he felt like he was barely hanging on, reflecting on his own struggles. He said, "For some certain circumstances, I'm quite lucky to still be here, which is something I've never really shared with anyone. Just think about that for a second." Liam hinted at how close he was to the edge. There are times when that level of loneliness and people getting into you every day makes you wonder when this will end. Can you imagine the weight he must have been carrying? Despite having millions of supporters, Liam felt utterly alone. Fame was more than simply the glitz and sold-out performances. It was a struggle that nearly broke